What does Christianity imply about our significance in eternity? The concept of loving one another implies that each of us is significant, earthlings or otherwise. The soul is the soul. The soul is significant. The soul lies within the causative force, and it is part of the causative force. Therefore, souls within vessels traveling this physical universe deserve the respect we as individuals sense is due the causative force. If the universe existed within the causative force, and if this meant the impact of our actions remained within the causative force, then the ideas that Hinduism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam offer would belong to all beings, not just earthly ones. Christianity implies that our significance, the significance of the soul, is tied to eternity. Christianity also implies that eternity lies outside our universe, which has a beginning-end concept. Under Christianity, the soul, lying outside the universe, has no beginning-end concept tied to it. The soul is eternal, in the sense we understand eternity to be. With panentheism, other life forms in the universe would have equal status with us. Now we would be able to rationalize what types of behaviors we should take to other human beings in the universe. Now we would have an understanding of a basis upon which we would have to interact with souls, earthly or otherwise, not only as individuals but as a species. Christianity would have a universal foundation upon which to analyze its role in the heavens. Christianity would have value which would extend to the boundaries of the universe by extending beyond the boundaries of the universe. Loving one another would gain a significance that not only affects the physical existence, but eternity itself. Christianity, loving one another, becomes a means to an end. The end is the elimination of suffering in order to reduce the impact of suffering upon eternity itself. Eternity is an experience you, I, all of us, earthly or otherwise, will have to experience. Eternity, a state of being, we all are responsible for creating and cementing factor in understanding that all religions are working toward a common cause to build an eternity we will all enjoy being immersed within. What does Christianity imply about our relationship to the causative force? Christians, they are to live with utter integrity called purity of heart. They are to live with a wholeheartedness. This integrity is so important. One is not to live with simple integrity, but with inner integrity. The implication is that integrity is connected to our relationship to the causative force, or God. This is a journey in search of understanding. So far, there is little doubt that humankind has been gradually evolving along a path of increasing tolerance, acceptance, and a sense of connectedness, not only to the causative force, but to each other. And now we have to love to add to our sense of behavior towards each other? Why do we need a commitment to each other so intense that it actually becomes an act of loving one another? If it is another piece of the puzzle to be added to the picture regarding the size of the causative force, or God, then increasing the size perceptually of the causative force to the largest size possible would elevate the significance of the Christian concept of love. Elevating the size of the causative force to that of complete totality would mean love and the effects of love would no longer be felt just in the physical universe, but would flow into the very heart of the causative force herself. Love now becomes a true cementing agent to fuse the soul to the causative force and the causative force to the soul. There is little doubt that Christianity, as did Hinduism, Judaism, Buddhism, and as we will see, Islam, and many others, brings to the picture a reinforcement of the idea that we must be connected to each other in some truly significant fashion. A web of life. The ideas of a single causative force, the soul, eternal life of the soul, elimination of suffering, loving one another, and as we will see, justice, all were taking root upon our earth. But humankind was not exactly humane yet. We still treated each other as property, as a means to self-serving goals, as just another way of getting what we wanted. Something still seems to be missing. If the present size, perceptually speaking, of the causative force does not allow us to accept other humans different than ourselves, then perhaps it is time to change something more. Perhaps it is time to change the size we assign our perceived causative force. Conclusion. How do the concepts of Christianity reinforce the concept of symbiotic panentheism? It does not. What is really taking place is that symbiotic panentheism is reinforcing Christianity. Symbiotic panentheism is composed of two words, symbiosis and interdependence, and panentheism. How is loving one another related to this idea? If the causative force, or God, is interdependent with us, and we in turn with her, and if the causative force is truly omnipresent, then loving one another is nothing less than loving the causative force. Symbiotic panentheism elevates the size of the causative force to the maximum. How big is God? And I would add to the question, does God play favorites? Symbiotic panentheism elevates the concept of loving one another to the greatest level of significance. Christianity becomes a means by which the West has been given the message that the elimination of suffering is our ultimate goal. Buddhism and Christianity become soulmates under the concept of symbiotic panentheism. Buddhism is right, Christians are right. Christianity does not suggest a limited love directed at just ourselves. The love here is a love extended to all. It means loving your wife, family, neighbor, countrymen, and humans living across the vast seas of our planet, regardless of their race, color, or creed. It means loving souls living across the vast sea of empty space which extends to the very boundaries of the universe. Christianity does not place qualifiers on this love. It demands it be extended by you to all souls. It demands love to be extended to souls you respect as well as souls you do not respect. Does this mean we, you, as well as I, must respect everything other souls do? No, but it does mean we must respect the right of souls to take their own journeys as long as they do not interfere with the journey of others. Loving one another is the lesson Christianity professes each of us should give. There are no qualifiers in terms of who gets this love. It is to be extended to one another, to all. The next reading will be on Islam, which emerged approximately in another 500-year cycle around the year 500 AD. And its focus would be on justice.